In a time long before modern warmth, the Earth entered the deep freeze. Vast regions of the planet were covered in ice. Temperatures dropped to extreme lows, and entire landscapes transformed into frozen wilderness. This was the Ice Age. A world where survival was not guaranteed and comfort did not exist. Snow stretched endlessly across the land. Rivers hardened into ice. Forests stood silent beneath layers of frost. And for early humans, this environment was home. They walked across open plains with no shelter, no protection from the wind, and no certainty of what lay ahead. Each step through the snow demanded energy. Each journey required endurance. The cold was constant. It seeped into the body, slowing movement, draining strength. And yet, they continued, because stopping was not an option. At first, survival meant enduring the environment as it was. But over time, humans began to adapt. They searched for natural protection, places where the wind could not reach them. And eventually, they found shelter. Caves. Formed over thousands of years, these natural structures became one of the first defenses against the freezing world outside. Inside, the temperature was more stable. The wind was blocked. And for the first time, there was a sense of safety. But a cave alone was not enough. The cold still found its way in, so they improved it. Entrances were covered using stones, branches, and animal hides. Openings were reduced. The goal was simple: keep the warmth in and the cold out. And inside those shelters, a new challenge appeared: staying warm. Without protection, the human body could not survive long in freezing temperatures. So they turned to what they had: animals. After every hunt, animal skins became more than just remains. They became survival tools. Fur was cleaned, prepared, and shaped into clothing. Thick layers were worn to trap heat and protect against the wind. Simple coverings became coats. Skins wrapped around feet became insulation against frozen ground. Children were covered carefully. Bodies stayed close together, because warmth had to be shared. But even with shelter and clothing, something was still missing: heat. And that's where one of the greatest discoveries in human history changed everything: fire. At first, creating it was difficult. It required patience, precision, effort. But once it was achieved, everything changed. Fire brought warmth into the coldest environments. It allowed humans to survive through the night, even when temperatures dropped dangerously low. It dried wet materials. It softened food. It provided light in darkness. And most importantly, it created a center. A place where people gathered, where warmth could be shared, where survival became possible. Fire had to be protected at all costs. It was fed constantly, shielded from wind, maintained through long nights, because if it went out, survival became uncertain again. With shelter, clothing, and fire, humans were no longer just enduring the Ice Age. They were adapting to it. But one challenge remained constant: food. No matter how advanced their survival methods became, they still needed to eat. And in a frozen world, food was never easy to find. Hunters began preparing carefully. Weapons were crafted and sharpened. Spears tipped with stone were designed for precision and impact. Every hunt required planning. The land itself became a guide. Footprints in the snow revealed movement, patterns showed direction, even subtle changes in terrain could reveal the presence of animals. And sometimes, those tracks led to giants. Across the frozen plains, massive creatures moved slowly. Woolly mammoths, built for the cold, powerful beyond comparison. They were not easy targets. They were dangerous. But humans did not rely on strength alone. They relied on strategy. Working together, they approached carefully. Animals moved constantly. Resources were limited, and the environment made everything harder. So hunting became essential, not just for survival, but for continuity. And this is where everything changed again, because now, survival depended on success. It was not easy, but when it succeeded, it meant survival. Because one successful hunt could sustain an entire group. Every part of the animal mattered. Nothing was wasted. And what was gathered had to last. Food was preserved carefully. Some of it dried near fire, some stored beneath frozen ground. The environment itself became part of the solution. But survival was never stable. Storms returned. Blizzards swept across the land without warning. And once again, survival depended on preparation. Inside shelters, the fire burned. People stayed close together, and they endured until the storm passed. And when it did, they moved again. Across frozen plains, over rivers of ice, through landscapes that demanded constant adaptation. They followed survival, because staying still meant risk. They carried what they could, built what they needed, and left when they had to. Step by step, they crossed a world that offered no comfort. But through it all, they adapted, they learned, they endured. Not because the Ice Age became easier, but because they became stronger, smarter, more capable. Ahead of them, an endless world of ice. Behind them, footprints in the snow. Proof that they had survived. And proof that no matter how harsh the world became, humanity would always find a way to move forward.